What if I told you some animals we thought were gone forever came back? Species declared extinct, erased from nature, suddenly rediscovered, alive, and hiding in the wild. From oceans deeper than imagination to jungles no human had stepped into for decades. Today, we bring you the top 10 animals you thought were extinct, but returned against all odds. Get ready, because nature always finds a way. And trust me, number 1 was gone for over 80 years. 10. A fish older than dinosaurs. The real-life fossil that refuses to disappear. This is the coelacanth, one of the most mysterious and ancient creatures ever discovered. Scientists believed it had been extinct for more than 70 million years, until 1938, when a fisherman off the coast of South Africa pulled something unbelievable out of the ocean. A creature thought to have died with the dinosaurs was suddenly alive. This discovery shocked the world. No one thought a species could survive so long without being seen by humans. But the coelacanth wasn't gone. It was hiding, living deep in the ocean, between 200 and 700 meters underwater, in places humans rarely explore. This fish is not like other fish. It has limb-like fins, moving almost like legs, a hinge in its skull that allows it to open its mouth extremely wide, and a jelly-filled organ in its head that works like natural sonar. And its lifespan? Up to 100 years. Some scientists believe it could be the missing link between fish and the first animals to walk on land. The craziest part? We know more about space than we know about the ocean where this creature lives. The coelacanth proves one thing. Extinction is not always the end. Sometimes it's just a long game of hide and seek. 9. A leopard feared, hunted, and erased from history. Until now, the mystery remains unsolved. This is the Zanzibar leopard, a creature surrounded by legend, fear, and disappearance. For decades, people believed it no longer existed, but unlike other extinct animals, this one might still be out there. The Zanzibar leopard lived on Unguja Island, part of the Zanzibar archipelago off the coast of Tanzania. But this wasn't just any leopard. It evolved in isolation, becoming smaller, stealthier, and perfectly adapted to jungle life. To locals, it was more than an animal. It became a legend. In the 1960s, fear took over the island. Some believed the leopard was controlled by witches. Panic spread, and a government-backed eradication campaign began. Hunting, traps, and poison pushed the population toward collapse. By the 1990s, scientists declared it possibly extinct. But here's where the story gets interesting. In 2018, a camera trap captured shocking footage. A leopard walking through the forest at night. Blurry, but real. Was it the legendary Zanzibar leopard? Or just another species? No one can say for sure. If it still exists, it would be one of the rarest big cats on Earth. A symbol of survival, secrecy, and nature's ability to hide in plain sight. Its story is a reminder. Fear can erase a species faster than nature ever will. A bird that doesn't sit on its eggs, that builds volcano-like nests, and survived islands, predators, and myths. This is the Nicobar megapode. Hidden deep in the Nicobar Islands of India lives one of the most unusual birds on Earth. Not big, not fierce, not colorful, but with one of nature's strangest survival strategies. This is the Nicobar megapode, also known as the Nicobar scrubfowl. It lives on remote tropical islands surrounded by dense jungle and untouched beaches. These birds rarely fly, spend most of their lives on the ground, and humans almost never see them. For many years, scientists feared that habitat loss, natural disasters, and predators had pushed them close to extinction. But this bird had a secret advantage. Unlike any other bird, the Nicobar megapode does not sit on its eggs to keep them warm. Instead, it builds massive mound nests made of sand, leaves, and soil, sometimes over 3 meters wide. The heat from the decomposing plants works like a natural incubator. No parents sitting, no body heat, just science, nature, and perfectly calculated temperature control. It even checks the nest daily, opening and closing it to adjust the heat. This bird literally invented the first natural oven. No other bird species uses the environment so precisely to raise its young. It doesn't teach the chicks to survive. They hatch fully independent. No mom, no dad, no lessons. Just instinct. Tsunamis, rising sea levels, wild pigs, human expansion. So many things have threatened its survival. Yet it remains. Not because it's the strongest, but because it adapted in ways we are still trying to understand. 7. A deer with fangs? Hunted for a perfume worth more than gold, and now surviving in the shadows of the mountains. This is the musk deer. When you think of deer, you imagine antlers, elegance, maybe speed. But the musk deer? It breaks every rule. No antlers. Fangs like a vampire. And a scent so valuable it pushed it to the edge of extinction. The musk deer lives in the cold mountains of Asia, Himalayas, China, Siberia, Mongolia, remote forests, high altitudes, extreme weather, places where humans struggle to survive. But this deer calls home. First, the fangs. Males grow long canine teeth, not to hunt, but to fight other males for territory and mates. No antlers, just fangs. Second, the size. It's small, shy, and moves like a ghost through the trees. But the most shocking part, the male musk deer produces musk, a powerful natural scent used in luxury perfumes and traditional medicine. 1 kilogram of pure musk can cost up to $45,000, more expensive than gold. And because of this, it became one of the most hunted animals on the planet. Poaching pushed the species close to collapse. Traps, illegal hunting, and demand for musk nearly erased it. For every musk pod taken, a deer dies. A silent tragedy in the mountains. 6. A creature older than your grandparents, older than countries, older than most trees. A living relic that can survive a century and a half. This is the Galapagos giant tortoise. On the volcanic islands of Galapagos, where the land smokes, the ground moves, and evolution writes its own rules, lives the largest tortoise species on the planet. Slow in movement, but unstoppable in legacy. These giants have been walking the earth for over 2 million years. Long before airplanes, cities, or smartphones existed. They inspired Charles Darwin himself. In fact, they helped shape the theory of evolution as we know it. A fully grown Galapagos tortoise can weigh over 400 kilograms and reach more than 1.5 meters long. But size isn't even its greatest power. It can go almost a year without food or water, and it lives longer than almost any land animal, some reaching 150 to 180 years old. That means one tortoise could witness 3 human generations. But immortality doesn't protect against humans. In the 1800s, sailors captured them by the thousands for food, because they could stay alive for months without eating. Their population collapsed. Entire subspecies disappeared forever. But here's the good news. Thanks to conservation programs, breeding centers, and strict protection laws, their population is slowly rising again. From near extinction to recovery. One of the greatest wildlife comebacks in history. 5. A shark larger than a car, with a glowing mouth, that science didn't even know existed until 1976. This is the megamouth shark. In the deep, where sunlight disappears and mystery rules the ocean, lives one of the rarest and strangest sharks ever discovered. The megamouth shark, a giant that barely anyone has ever seen alive. It was 1976, near Hawaii, when a U.S. Navy ship accidentally pulled up a massive, unknown creature tangled in its anchor. Scientists were stunned. It was a shark, but a species no one had ever seen, recorded, or studied. A completely new giant of the ocean. First, the size. It can reach up to 18 feet long, nearly 5.5 meters. Second, the mouth. It has a massive, round mouth that can open extremely wide. But here's the shocking part. Its lips glow in the dark. Scientists believe it uses bioluminescence to attract plankton in the deep ocean. Because the megamouth shark doesn't hunt large prey. It eats by filtering plankton, like whale sharks and basking sharks. So despite its terrifying size, it's completely harmless to humans. This shark is so rare that fewer than 300 sightings have been recorded in history. No attacks, no migration patterns fully mapped, no exact population count. We know almost nothing because the megamouth lives in the deep, far from humans. We've explored outer space, but 80% of the ocean is still unknown. And the megamouth is proof that the planet still hides monsters we haven't met yet. For the first animal in history to come back from extinction, and the first to disappear twice. This is the incredible story of the Pyrenean ibex. High in the mountains of Spain and France, where snow dominates the peaks and the air grows thin, once lived a majestic, nearly mythical animal, the Pyrenean ibex, also known as the bucardo, a wild goat built for impossible cliffs and frozen winds, until humans pushed it too far. The Pyrenean ibex wasn't just another wild goat. It could climb near vertical rock walls with ease, leap across huge gaps without fear, and survive in places predators and humans could barely reach. Males carried enormous curved horns, a crown of nature itself. But survival against nature is one thing. Surviving mankind is another. Overhunting for meat and trophies, loss of habitat, and competition with livestock. By the year 2000, only one was left. A female, named Celia, the last of an entire subspecies. On January 6, 2000, Celia was found dead, crushed under a fallen tree. The Pyrenean ibex was officially declared extinct. A silence fell over the mountains that once echoed with its hooves. Before Celia died, scientists had collected DNA samples. In 2003, something unbelievable happened. Through cloning, a baby Pyrenean ibex was born, the first extinct animal brought back to life. But the miracle lasted only 7 minutes. The clone died due to lung failure. History had witnessed extinction and de-extinction in the same species. 3. A creature with the strongest bite of any mammal its size. A scream that sounds unreal, and a face that inspired legends. This is the Tasmanian devil. On an island south of Australia, hidden in forests and darkness, lives a creature small in size, but terrifying in reputation. The Tasmanian devil. Not a myth. Not a cartoon character. A real animal with a real scream that can freeze your blood. When European settlers first heard it at night, growling, screeching, roaring in the shadows, they believed something evil was hunting them. They called it a devil, and the name stayed. It might look small, but it has the strongest bite force of any land mammal relative to its size. Strong enough to crush bones. And it doesn't waste food. Fur, bones, meat. It eats everything. Nature's perfect cleanup crew. The screams aren't aggression. They're communication. But hear it once at night, and you'll understand why legends were born. Predators feared it. Humans misunderstood it. But what nearly destroyed the species? A rare contagious cancer called devil facial tumor disease. It spread through bites and wiped out huge portions of the population. The demon was disappearing. Scientists, conservationists, and national wildlife programs stepped in. Breeding programs, disease research, protected reserves. And slowly, the population is rising again. Not extinct, not defeated. fighting back. 2. A frog made of gold, a national symbol, and a warning from nature itself. This is the heartbreaking story of the golden frog. In the rainforests of Panama, where rivers sound like music and nature glows with life, lived one of the most beautiful frogs on earth. Bright as the sun, toxic as poison, rare as a legend, the Panamanian golden frog. For the people of Panama, this frog wasn't just wildlife. It was a national treasure, a symbol of luck, health, and prosperity. Its image was printed on lottery tickets, art, and cultural celebrations, because seeing it wasn't just special. It was magical. Its golden skin wasn't decoration. It was a warning. The golden frog produces a powerful toxin, strong enough to stop a predator's heart. But ironically, the deadliest danger to the golden frog wasn't predators. It was something invisible. In the 1990s, a devastating fungus began spreading across Central America, chytridiomycosis, a disease that wiped out entire amphibian populations silently, quickly, brutally. By 2007, the golden frog vanished from the wild. Not slowly, not over generations, in only a few years. Before it was too late, scientists and conservationists took action. Golden frogs were moved into protected breeding programs, inside biosecure facilities, zoos, and research centers. They no longer sing in Panama's rivers, but they still exist because humans refused to give up. The golden frog didn't disappear because it was weak, but because the world changed faster than it could adapt. Amphibians are nature's alarm system, and when they start disappearing, the planet is screaming for help. 1. In the wild forests of Tasmania and mainland Australia, once walked a creature unlike any other. It looked like a wolf. It had stripes like a tiger, and a pouch like a kangaroo. This was the thylacine, better known as the Tasmanian tiger. Despite its name, it wasn't a tiger. It was actually a marsupial, the largest carnivorous marsupial in the world. Powerful jaws, silent movements, and perfect adaptation. It was the top predator of its land. Early settlers feared it. They blamed it for killing livestock, so the government offered money for every thylacine killed. A bounty, not protection. And soon, the hunter became the hunted. Hunting, habitat loss, and disease pushed the species to the edge. By the 1930s, there were almost none left in the wild. And in 1936, the final confirmed Tasmanian tiger died alone in captivity. His name was Benjamin. No family, no species left, no second chance. And humans realized the tragedy far too late. Aquí es donde la historia se vuelve increíble. Since the 1970s, dozens of people claim to have seen it in the wild. Blurry footage, unidentified tracks, strange striped creatures spotted in the forests. No official proof, but no absolute proof of its disappearance either. Scientists call it extinct, but legend calls it hidden. Today, researchers are working on something once thought impossible, using preserved DNA to bring the thylacine back through de-extinction science. Not a clone, not a copy, but perhaps a second chance. And there you have it, 10 animals the world believed were lost forever. And yet, they proved us wrong. If this taught us anything, it's that nature never gives up, and maybe, just maybe, there are even more species out there waiting to be rediscovered. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It helps us bring you more incredible stories like this one. Turn on notifications so you never miss a comeback from the wild. Thank you for watching. Stay curious, stay wild, and we'll see you in the next adventure.